Hello everyone, Yubel Master here, aka 38 the Master 1, bringing you another video for the Yubel community, and today we have two new Yubel cards announced for the next core set after Phantom Nightmare. In Legacy of Destruction we are getting two new cards, and it's just been announced today, exactly 4 weeks before we're getting Phantom Nightmare in the TCG. So we're getting announcements for Wave 2 support before we've even got Wave 1 in the TCG, which is funny how that works, but hey, more hype for us. So anyway, we can see the card art here. This is obviously Grave Squirmer, a retrain of Grave Squirmer, which I totally predicted in my Wave 2 support potential video a while back. So hey, my predictions have come to fruition, and damn does he look yoked, holy moly.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
I'm really excited to see what these cards read. This is my first time reading what the effects do, so you all are gonna get my live reaction to this. And now that we've seen the artwork, why don't we dive straight into the article? We can see the Yugioh org have implemented a new dark mode for their website, which is pretty cool. Bowed to the true royalty with new Yubel support. And it does say to please run these with the Sacred Beast cards. They know. The first card, which is the retrain of the Grave Squirmer, in Japanese it's Hello Grave Squirmer, and they're probably going to localize that to Infernal Grave Squirmer. So it's a level 1 Dark Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense, just like the old one, which does mean that it works with opening the Spirit Gates, which is nice. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. If you control a Fiend monster, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can destroy one monster you control that is Yubel or mentions it. Very nice. An extender that has destruction synergy. I like it. Effect number 2 is you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense from your hand or graveyard, except Infernal Grave Squirmer. Holy moly. I can't remember exactly what I said in the video, but I said some kind of, like, maybe discard effect and then a banish effect, and yeah, this has a banish effect, which is awesome. It's just a quick effect free special summon. It doesn't actually do anything on the field, and it doesn't have any on-summon effects, so I'm guessing this is just gonna be tribute fodder. I assume they want you to use it as. Yeah, this card literally has no uses other than link plays, which fortunately the deck doesn't lock you out of any link plays, so yeah, you can just use this, link it off, and then use the graveyard effect immediately. I think this was made with link monsters in mind, otherwise they would have given it some kind of on-field effect. So yeah, you can just banish it and special summon a Fiend monster with 0/0 from your hand or your graveyard, which means that there are some situations where if you haven't drawn the Lotus, but you've drawn this plus Spirit of Yubel, you can special summon Spirit of Yubel from your hand and then get the combo going. So that's nice. It's kind of like a free extender that's a free special summon in the grave. So yeah, definitely a nice addition to the deck. It does mention Yubel, so it is searchable as well. I'm not sure how many copies I would run in the deck, however, because it does extend and it's like a free body that special summons something from the grave, but other than that, it doesn't really do anything else. So it's a very simple card, but I'm not really sure if this extender is worth it when all it does is just give you an extra couple of bodies. Other than that, it doesn't really have any utility. So extenders are nice, but not when they don't do that much. All this really does is just give you a couple of bodies. So I will be playing around with this to see how many we will be running, but other than that, I'm not disappointed. This is a solid card. Let's go on to the next card. It's a field spell. Oh my god, this is amazing. Okay, before reading the effect, having a field spell is really nice because I found when playing the new Yubel cards that your field ends up getting really clogged up with a lot of continuous spells and traps because you have Eternal Favorite, you have Opening the Spirit Gates, you have Nightmare Pain, and you have Mature Chronicle. That's already 4 of your spell and trap card slots that are taken up. So having a field spell allows you to have another continuous effect that doesn't actually take up your 5th slot for like an impermanence or a skill drain or another card that you want to use. So this is excellent, just having a field spell for the deck. And the field spell says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. When this card resolves, you can take 1 Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense from your deck, either add it to your hand or destroy it. Oh my lord. You can destroy straight from the deck. This is so good. This is actually amazing. So, interestingly enough, you can actually choose if you want to add it to your hand, which is very useful because you can either add a starter, which is either your Dark Beckoning Beast if you already have Lotus, or Lotus to get that double normal summon combo. Or if you've already like gone through your combo, this is basically counts as an extender. So this is really, really flexible as you can just destroy another Yubel from the deck and then it activates its effect and you can just special summon the next form, get more counters and continue that combo. So it seems like with this new support, you can search super polarization using those 5 counters a lot more consistently, as well as get more bodies on the field a lot easier to get more link plays involved. Especially since you can also just add that extender if you already have everything that you need. Although you can search any fiend monster with 0 attack and defense, this does mean that you can't search the Grinder Golem, but you can search Grinder Golem with Nightmare Pain still. Anyway, let's quickly read the second effect. Once per turn, if a face-up Yubel monster you control leaves the field by a card effect, you can add to your hand one of your Yubel monsters that is banished or in your deck or graveyard and is 1 original level higher or lower than one of those monsters that left the field. Then you can special summon the added monster ignoring its summoning conditions. Okay, that was a lot to take in, but I think it basically means that you can special summon another form of Yubel, either 1 level lower or higher, by just completely ignoring its summoning conditions, and you don't even care about missing timing. So it's kind of like a game patch of like, oh, Yubel misses timing? Don't worry about that. We'll just have a field spell that makes it so it doesn't miss the timing. That's quite funny, actually. So this does actually mean that when you link summon using a Yubel card, you can actually just get a free +1 using this field spell and then another special summon. So this is actually really, really strong. Like, this is actually really solid support. You can actually do some insane link plays with this. I mean, beforehand, you could actually have a decent end board with like Appaloosa and your standard setup of Super Poly and stuff. But now I think you can extend a lot further and maybe do a lot more link plays with either higher material Appaloosas or maybe an extra Pit Knight early for effect negation. Or maybe just go ham and create like 3 Gustav Maxes or something, I don't know. My brain is completely buzzing with lots of ideas and I'm just super happy with this support. I think this is really, really solid. So yeah, these are pretty decent cards, but now that I'm thinking about it, these cards don't actually add any more interruption to the deck. It just kind of adds more consistency and more bodies on board for generic link plays. I mean, these are decent cards. These are not disappointing or useless cards at all, but they're kind of cards that just make you summon more stuff and not necessarily cards that add more interruption. They don't necessarily address the deck's weaknesses. And you know, these are pretty exciting cards and I'm just happy that we got them. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Leave a like on the video if you're excited for these cards and Phantom Nightmare, which is releasing in exactly 4 weeks time. In the meantime, I will be releasing videos based on the Phantom Nightmare sets, and I'll have a Yubel deck profile coming out when Phantom Nightmare releases, and I'll also be sharing a complete and comprehensive guide for the Yubel cards, including combos and strategies and everything you need to know to play the new Yubel support. So yeah, that was my live reaction. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.